Roll was the devil's music, and if you play records backwards mixed in amongst the gibberish, you could hear extra messages that were supposedly demons speaking to you. So I had a whole bunch of scared and frightened teenagers on my hands. I'm a natural skeptic, and I immediately went home that night and rewired some of my equipment to play the tapes in reverse and to show the kids the next morning, well listen, look, I play this hit backwards, there ain't nothing there. Much to my surprise, I played the record backwards and I heard a very clear and intelligent English phrase. I thought, oh my, gee whiz. I ran it back again and there it was. I went and called one of my friends and asked him over to see me, asked him to come over and played it in reverse without telling him what to hear, and he also heard the same thing. Checked the soundtrack for intentional insertions. This track has been manipulated with, was the obvious thing that first came to my mind. I did oscilloscope checks and some computer waveform checks and found the soundtrack to be quite pure and untainted. The next 2 or 3 months I played back the majority of my musical collection at the time, which consisted of a range of rock and roll to gospel to love songs, country and western, and found a wide cross-section of reversed messages that normally related directly to the theme of the song. If the song was about the occult, then you would find reversals about the occult. If the song was about gospel music, you would find reversals about gospel, praising God. Well, it depends on the integrity of the gospel artist, of course. If it was about love, you would find reversals about love. Some very basic questions came to my mind. It was obvious that there was no intentional manipulation. These reverse phrases were occurring as a direct result of the way the speaker or the singer at the time was constructing his sounds of speech. In other words, the peculiar phonetic rhythms and patterns to his voice. I could find no research anywhere being done into reversed soundtracks. This puzzled me somewhat. I would have thought that a phenomenon as widespread as this would have at least been looked at at some level from an academic viewpoint. About a year later, I moved on to normal human speech. I remember the night quite well, and we had a few people over and someone said to me, well listen David, why don't we record our room conversation and play it in reverse? And then my reaction was like, get out of here, play a conversation backwards. We played the room conversation in reverse, and sure enough, right mixed in amongst the gibberish about once every 30 seconds were very clear and direct, intelligent statements that were a reflection of what the speaker was thinking and feeling at the time. It seemed to me impossible that we could speak in such a way that we're delivering two messages simultaneously. And for the next 2 or 3 years I spent thousands of hours analysing tapes, finding cross-references and patterns, and by the time 1987 came around, I had really discovered so many common factors to this whole phenomenon that there had to be something real to it. Then in beginning of 87, I remember I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and it was like something just clicked. And then I thought, this is another form of communication. It has to be. And I coined the phrase reverse speech and wrote the very first draft of my theory. It basically states that the process of spoken communication is twofold. As all of us are communicating with each other, we are constructing the sounds of our speech in such a way that we are delivering two messages simultaneously. One is coming forwards from the conscious mind, which is how I'm speaking to you now, and the other one is coming in reverse from the unconscious mind. Well, many of you have had experiences where you have been speaking to people and you, within the first 3 or 4 sentences, you get a gut feeling that there's something more than what this guy's telling you. Like he's either telling you the truth or he's telling you a lie, or there's something extra. A lot of us call that intuition. It is my contention that the existence of the reverse speech process explains many aspects of human intuition. I've conducted numerous independent blind scientific tests to independently verify the phenomena. There's just not enough time in the hour I've got here to cover that.
This is fascinating. This makes me want to get on YouTube and start downloading videos of people that are like murder suspects in a police interrogation room and then play it in reverse and see if there's anything on there, especially the ones where they later proved the person's guilt or innocence. If this is as dependable of a phenomenon as he's claiming it is, we might be able to actually develop a system to use this in some way as evidence in court. If this really does expose your true intentions without any way for you to stop it, then I think we have our answer as to why this isn't common knowledge. They wouldn't want people listening to their politicians in reverse and hearing their true intentions. I'm going to have to play with this idea and see if this really is as dependable of a phenomenon as he claims it is.